and
You mean the
purify
Nitya
and
Siddhas,
go
right?
back.
You mean
Nitya
the
Siddhas, yeah.
Nitya Siddhas?
Nitya Siddhas, yes.
Yeah.
They come from the spiritual world for to purify us on the order of Lord Krishna, and they always want us to go back there. And we also talked about sadhana siddhas. You told us about sadhana siddhas, that how they by for they how can they perfect their life by following the rules and regulations like sadhana bhakti. And one can go back, that if there is no difference, like if they follow everything, then they can also become nitya siddhas.
Once
And
they go back to the spiritual world, then they
yes,
also
yeah,
become
they
Nitya
can also
Siddha.
become nitya
Mm.
siddhas. And then
Mm.
also Prahlāda Maharaj only wanted pure devotional service for his devotees. And Prabhupada here also says that when we use our possessions in the service of Krishna, then there is no more worries and there is nothing to worry.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Also,
Hare
yeah,
Krishna.
Prahlad Maharaj is a perfect example of the
Mm.
sadhana siddha devotee. So,
Of the Nitya
Sorry,
Siddha.
nitya
sorry,
baddha,
Nitya.
right? Yeah.
Nitya
Nitya
Siddha.
siddha, sorry.
Yeah. Prahlad Maharaj is perfect example of Nitya Siddha. Yeah, thank you. Especially telling us about pure devotional service. We can see how kind the devotees are. You know, they're coming here on Krishna's order for our benefit. You know, when we are nice, comfortable, happy, we don't want to leave that place, right? But the devotees on Krishna's order, pleasure of Krishna for our benefit, being compassionate on us, they're coming. They're coming to tell us, to bring us back home, back to Godhead. So this is their love, their compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we had read about that when one is attached to material enjoyment, then they're mostly inclined to worship. They're mostly inclined to worship the demigods for material opulences. But
Yeah,
if we worship, yeah, Krishna, so then we can get the bhakti, right? To get
yeah.
closer to.
Get closer to Krishna. Yeah, that's true. But if, and then Bhagavatam tells us that even if we have material desires, you know, we have so many
Also,
material desires, then instead of going to demigods, still worship Krishna. Because
yeah,
Krishna not only will fulfill our material desire, but he'll bring us to the spiritual world also. Whereas the demigods, they'll fulfill our material desire, but they cannot bring us to the spiritual world. So Bhagavatam is saying, Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradi. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajate param. Huh? The last line I'm forgetting. So, but the thing is to worship Krishna for perfection. Okay, so we'll proceed with today's verse. Thank you so much. Nanyatati khila guru.
Nanyatha te
Nanyata
akhila guru
Kila Guru
Pateta karunatmanaha.
ghateta karunatmanaha
Yasta ashisha ashaste.
Yes.
yasta ashisha
Ashisha
ashaste
Ashaste
Na sabritya savevane.
Na
nasa
sabritya
bhrityah save
Save Madik.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, O my Lord, O Supreme Instructor of the entire world, you are so kind to your devotee that you could not induce him to do something unbeneficial for him. On the other hand, one who desires some material benefit in exchange for devotional service cannot be a pure devotee. Indeed, he is no better than a merchant who wants profit in exchange for service. So business, merchant means a businessman. Oh, I will worship you because I want something. That's what Prahlāda Maharaj is saying then, that is a merchant. It is sometimes found that one comes to a devotee or a temple of the Lord just to get some material benefit. Such a person is described here as a mercantile man. Bhagavad Gita speaks of Artho Jigyasur Artharthi. The word Artha refers to one who is physically distressed, and Artharthi refers to one in need of money. Such persons are forced to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead for mitigation of their distress or to get some money by the benediction of the Lord. They have been described as Sukriti, pious, because in their distress or need for money, they have approached the Supreme Lord. Unless one is pious, one cannot approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Krishna is saying, four kind of pious people come to me. The inquisitive, the one in distress, the one in need of money, and the one in knowledge. But not everyone who is in distress comes to Krishna. Not everyone who needs money comes to Krishna. It's only those who have piety. Now, what kind of piety is this? What kind of
This is
piety?
temporary. This will keep us in this material world.
No, the
This
piety
bliss.
that brings us to Krishna is spiritual piety, not material piety.
Sorry, I didn't understand the question, like what you're trying to
Uh,
ask.
so one who have some sukriti, some
Hmm.
spiritual piety, they come to
Hmm.
Krishna.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because
Oh,
spiritual
what kind of
piety
path?
brings us
Okay,
to
so this is that.
Krishna.
Is this that sukriti that we get from the devotees, like unknowingly that we
Yeah,
have accumulated?
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So when one does some kind of spiritual piety, then one comes to Krishna. So unless one is pious, one cannot approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, although a pious man may receive some material benefit, one who is concerned with material benefits cannot be a pure devotee. When a pure devotee receives material opulences, this is not because of his pious activity, but for the service of the Lord. So one may think, oh, the pure devotee, he's getting a lot of opulence. That's his karma. No. Krishna is personally giving him that opulence because Krishna knows that his devotee will use it in his service. Prahlāda Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Bhishma Dev, all these are opulent persons. Janak Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Ambarish, we read, Yudhishthir Maharaj, they're opulent. So it's not big karma, it is Krishna personally giving pure devotees opulence because he knows they will use it in his service to help others also to come to Krishna consciousness. They're going to use this opulence to engage others in Krishna consciousness. When one engages in devotional service, one is automatically pious. Therefore, a pure devotee is anyabhilashita shunyam. He has no desire for material profit, nor does the Lord induce him to try to profit materially. When a devotee needs something, the Supreme Personality of Godhead supplies it. Yoga Shema Vahami Amam. Krishna says, I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So Krishna is taking care of the pure devotee. Sometimes materialists go to a temple to offer flowers and fruit to the Lord because they have learned from Bhagavad Gita that if a devotee offers some flowers and fruits, the Lord accepts them. In Bhagavad Gita 9:26, the Lord says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachate tad aham bhakti upharitam ashnami prayatatmanaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, I will accept it. Thus, a man with a mercantile mentality thinks that if he can get some material benefit, like a large amount of money, simply by offering a little fruit and flower, this is good business. Such persons are not accepted as pure devotees because their desires are not purified. They are still mercantile men, even though they go to temples to make a show of being devotees. So, but Bhagavatam still says, still come to Krishna. We want to do business, still do that business with Krishna. Because we have material desires, still come to Krishna because Krishna will purify us. But here we are understanding, of course, that the perfect stage is to not have material desires, not to do business with Krishna, to offer him an offering out of love. So that is the pure devotee, that he has no material desire. So by hearing about pure devotional service also, it is so purifying to our heart. It helps us clean our heart by hearing about pure devotional service. Sarvapadi vinirmukta tat paratvena nirmalam. Only when one is fully freed from material desires can one be purified. And only in that purified state can one serve the Lord. Because one may say, oh, well, what's the use of me hearing about this pure devotional service? I'm not on this position. How does it benefit me? But it is benefiting us. When we are hearing about pure devotees, we are hearing about pure devotional service, our heart is being cleaned. We are coming one step closer towards pure devotional service. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. This is the pure devotional platform. Any comments on that one? Question? Okay.
Hare
Ashasano
Krishna.
Nave. Hare Krishna.
Sorry. So you
No,
said
yeah.
pure devotees are Anya Vilashita Shunyam. So how about the
Yeah.
other devotees? What they are Sukriti? Is it? Those who who are like come like who are in distress and they come. Are they known as
Yeah.
Sukriti?
No. Sukriti
No.
is here. No. Yeah, Sukriti,
I'm
what
a
here
bit
the word
confused.
pious. They have been described as Sukriti, pious. Yes, Prabhupada is writing, but usually Prabhupada would always say Sukriti means spiritual piety. Some pious act, some we get some.
Shilpaji, Hare Krishna, they are called
Yeah,
Sukrit.
Sukrit.
Not yeah,
Sukrit.
they are called Sukrit.
Yeah, Sukrit. That is good.
Oh,
Sukrit. Thank
Sukriti.
you.
Like always they
Mm.
come for when they come
And they
for
have some spiritual piety, but
okay.
they are coming for some
Or some
material
material,
desire.
right?
Actually, like they are also called Sakam devotees. Sakam devotees means still have
Yes,
material desires.
right.
Nishkam
Actually,
devotees
Sakam we have
are the
heard, yeah,
ones,
right.
Sakam devotees that still have material desires. Nishkam devotees, no material desire, pure devotee.
Material desire. Right. Okay.
Okay. Ashasano navaibhritya.
Ashano
Ashasanunavrityaha
Navritya
Swamini Ashisha Atmanaha.
Swamini
Swamini
Ashisa
Ashisha
Atmanaha
Atmanaha
Na Swami Bhrityata Swamyam.
Na
Na
Swami
Swami
Vrityadaha
Vrityata
Swayamyam
Ichan Yorati Chashisha.
Ichan Yorati
Yorati
Yurajasishaha
Ashisha.
A servant who desires material profits from his master is certainly not a qualified servant or pure devotee. Similarly, a master who bestows benedictions upon his servant because of a desire to maintain a prestigious position as a master is also not a pure master. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.20, Kamestester Rita Jnana Prapadyantanya Devata. Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigods. So we have material desires to fulfill the material desire, then someone may go to a demigod. A demigod cannot become master, for the real master is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? We see in so many situations, like Lord Brahma, he gave the benediction to Hiranyakashipu. But Lord Nishingadev came and killed Hiranyakashipu. Or Lord Shiva gives so many times benedictions to the demons. Then Krishna comes and he kills them. So the real master is Krishna. The demigods, to keep their prestigious positions, bestow upon their worshippers whatever benedictions the worshippers want. For example, once it was found that an asura took a benediction from Lord Shiva, by which the asura would be able to kill someone simply by placing his hands on that person's head. Such benedictions are possible to receive from the demigod. If one worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, the Lord will never offer him such condemned benedictions. So if somebody asks Krishna, I want this benediction, I should keep my hand on somebody's head and they should die. Is Krishna going to fulfill that desire?
No.
No.
Yeah, Krishna is not going to fulfill that desire. He said, what are you asking? This desire is not good for you, not for other people. So why should I give you something which is not good at all, neither for you nor for others? So on the contrary, it is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10.88.8, Yasyaham anugrahanami harishetad dhanam shane. If one is too materialistic, but at the same time wants to be a servant of the Supreme Lord, the Lord, because of his supreme compassion for the devotee, takes away all his material opulences and obliges him to be a pure devotee of the Lord. Comments? If somebody wants to be Krishna's servant, but he has material desires, too many materialist, too materialistic is mentioned. Too materialistic, but he wants to be Krishna's servant. Then what does Krishna do? He says, okay, let me encourage this person and make him into a devotee. So let me take away his material things. And then he will be forced to choose. Like this, the devotee is divided. What should I choose? Sometimes Maya, sometimes Krishna, but I have more desire to choose Krishna, but I'm not able to give up Maya. And Krishna says, okay, let me take away this. So you have nothing but me. So obliges him to be a pure devotee of the Lord. What do you all think about that? Comments? Questions?
Yeah, it's true, right? Time
Mm.
and time we really realize that, right? It disgusts us at times.
No, this is Krishna is taking it away.
Yeah.
Material
And
opulence.
then we can see it's so
Mm.
pure and so sweet to be with Krishna. He's
Mm.
helping. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it's
initially
eternal
one may
happiness.
scream and cry, How you're taking away
Yeah.
these things from me? What is this? Do you want me to suffer? How could you do that? What's happening? That's mostly people do that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of them. Yeah.
Right? That's a more natural reaction that's going to come about. What is happening? Why are you taking? Are you there for me or no? I'm trying to pray to you and you're taking away my things. What's happening? I thought you were my friend.
So
That's,
that is why we need to be in, that is why we have to keep reading. So we understand all is so
yeah,
temporary. Yeah.
yeah.
And then
And
you don't feel disgusted, but you do realize, okay, that's not the right thing to be doing.
yeah, that's right.
But
Yeah,
he's
we've
giving
seen,
us the
right?
higher taste, right? He's giving us the higher taste by taking that away. Because
Yeah.
previously we were not able to cry out loudly with that intense love for him.
Mm.
And now we can.
Mm. Yeah.
That's why, right? The people in distress, like they ask, Krishna, please help me, please now. What's
Yeah.
happening? Right?
Yeah.
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 So we have seen
Because they
like
can
how
cry out
people riches also riches, and then
louder,
suddenly the riches are taken
more
away. Also,
intensely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And then
true.
like
They can
how
try to
Shilpaji
Krishna more
say,
intense.
yeah, and then how Shilpaji always say that then when we have been reading and then we have been listening, then we can understand that yeah, maybe he has done, maybe I was supposed to lose it all, but he has just taken a bit of it, because of my karmas. I was supposed to lose it whole, but by the mercy of Krishna, even I'm getting this much. Then slowly and gradually, by hearing and chanting, with the Guru and devotees' mercy, we understand this also, and then we continue doing it.
Yeah.
We continue on the path.
Okay. Thank you, all of you. Yes, nice. Okay. So we can cry out to Krishna more feelingly. We can be grateful to Krishna. We can understand by reading the scriptures. Okay, Prahlāda Maharaj distinguishes between the pure devotee and the pure master. The Lord is the pure master, the supreme master, whereas an unalloyed devotee with no material motives is the pure servant. So this is the transcendental platform. The devotee is pure, master is pure. It's love. There's no like manipulation or business or pride or anger or lust. Only love. One who has materialistic motivations cannot become a servant, and one who unnecessarily bestows benedictions upon his servant to keep his own prestigious position is not a real master. Because someone may say, oh, this person has come asking me for this benediction, begging me for this. So to keep my reputation, let me agree to what he's asking. Otherwise, what will people say? That you come to me and I don't fulfill your desire? No, my reputation might be spoiled. So let me fulfill. But Krishna is not like that. He considers, is this good for this person or no? If it's no, Krishna will say, I'm sorry. He says, you may be a fool in asking for it, but I'm not a fool to give it. Why should I become foolish to give it, Okay, so we can see Krishna very kind, very, very kind. He's always taking care of us, what is good for us. Aham tva akamastvат bhaktas.
Aham tva kamastvadbhaktas.
Tvam cha swami anapashraya.
Tvam cha swami anapashrayah.
Nanyate havayor artho.
Nadyat artho
Rajaseva kayor iva.
Rajasevakayor eva.
Oh my Lord, I'm your unmotivated servant and you are my eternal master. There is no need of our being anything other than master and servant. You are naturally my master and I'm naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jivera Swarubhai Krishnera Nityadas. Every living being is eternally a servant of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 5:29, Bhoktaram Yakya Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. I am the proprietor of all planets and I am the supreme enjoyer. This is the natural position of the Lord. And the natural position of the living being is to surrender unto Him. Sarva dharman parityagya mam ekam sharanam braja. So the natural position of the Lord is supreme enjoyer, and our natural position is to surrender to Him. So someone may say, why should Krishna be the supreme enjoyer? Why only Him? Why not me? Or why not him or her or someone else? What do you say to that?
He is the supreme controller. He is the person who is giving. He is the cause of all causes.
Yeah, but when
So
I am saying, why is Krishna the supreme enjoyer? I should be the supreme enjoyer, or you should be supreme enjoyer, or somebody else should be supreme enjoyer. What is my position in that situation?
I'm thinking I'm the body.
Yeah, that's right. That's why we are in the material world. That is materialistic life.
Yeah.
Because we want to be the supreme enjoyer, that's why we are in this material world. because our natural position is to serve Krishna. Just as the natural situation of water is liquid, right? It flows. But artificial is what? You freeze it. We freeze it and we make it ice. But if we keep it in its natural temperature, it's going to be liquid, no more ice. So our natural position is to surrender to Krishna. When we are saying, I don't want to surrender, why should I surrender? Why only Krishna? Why not me? Why not this one or that one? That is not our natural position. If this relationship continues, then real happiness exists eternally between the master and the servant. And in that position, can we actually be happy? We are thinking that if we um, try to become the supreme enjoyer ourselves, then we will be happy. But rather, we will be happy when we can accept that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, when we can accept that Krishna is the supreme controller, when we can accept that Krishna is my best friend. In that situation, actually, we can really be happy because that's the natural situation, natural relationship. Unfortunately, when this eternal relationship is disturbed, the living entity wants to become separately happy and thinks that the master is his order supplier, isn't it? We are saying, Krishna, I need you to do this. This is my desire, and you should fulfill in this time limit. We may put it in different ways. We may package it differently. Our words may be different, or our tone may be different. But, if we analyze, what am I asking? I'm telling Krishna, this should happen by this date. Sometimes we do like that. Krishna should fulfill my orders. Whatever I ask for, Krishna should give me. And if he doesn't, I'll throw a tantrum and say, no, why you didn't give me? How could you be so mean? But in fact, we should
Yeah,
be the one who's serving Krishna. Huh?
yeah. Many people
Yes.
do that sankalp, no? And then they are like, "Agar ye ho jayega, then I will do this."
Yeah, and it should happen in this time frame. In this time to
Yeah,
this time, this should happen.
yeah. And it sounds like
If it
they ordered it.
exactly. So then
Yeah.
who is the order supplier? We are thinking Krishna is there only to fulfill our desire. We should ask like a waiter is coming with them. Hey waiter, ye leke aao, ye de do. Wow. So in this way, there cannot be happiness. Nor should the master cater to the desires of the servant. If he does, he's not the real master. The real master commands, you must do this, and the real servant immediately obeys the order. Unless this relationship between the Supreme Lord and the subordinate living entity is established, there can be no real happiness. Because Krishna, the real master, will say out of love, you must do this. And the real servant, out of love, is immediately saying, yes, sir. But when there is no love, then the master is just trying to, you know, keep up his reputation as a master, and the servant is just doing the work to get some money. But because the love exists between Krishna and his devotee, so that this feeling is there. So the living entity is Ashraya, always subordinate, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Vishaya, the supreme objective, the goal of life. Krishna is the object of our love. We have love, and then Ashraya, and Krishna is the Vishaya, the goal of our love, the object of our love. Unfortunate persons trapped in this material world do not know this. Na te vidu swarthagatim hi Vishnu. Illusioned by the material energy, everyone in this material world is unaware that the only aim of life is to approach Vishnu. Aradhanam sarvesham. Vishnu aradhanam param. Tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. Who says this verse? To who? And where? Who is speaking this verse? Aradhanam sarvesham Vishnor aradhanam
Lord
tasmat
Shiva is
parataram
saying
devi tadyanam samarchanam. Yes, Lord Shiva is saying to who?
to his wife Parvati,
Yeah,
goddess
and where in
Durga,
which scripture is this verse coming?
Padma Purana.
And what is he saying? What is the highest goal of life?
To satisfy.
To satisfy Lord Krishna.
Yeah.
Mm.
And when can Krishna actually be satisfied?
When we are constantly serving him with love.
When his servant is satisfied. Krishna doesn't need us, you know. He's seeing
Yeah.
that my servant is happy, I'm happy. This much he loves us. That's why it says, Tadyanam Samarchanam, that higher than service of Lord Vishnu is serve the devotee, because when the devotee is pleased, Krishna is pleased. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore teaches Gopi Bharatu Pada Kamalayor Dasa Dasa Anudasa. One must become a servant of the servant. This is how to please Krishna. So we can see now in the material world what we say, you please me. Why are you going and pleasing somebody else? You please me, and then I will do you a favor. I will make you feel I'm such a great person. I'm doing a favor to you. I'm protecting you. But you must please me. But what is Krishna saying? No need to please me. You please my devotee. As soon as you please my devotee, I'm automatically pleased. And I will give myself to you. Krishna says, no, one who is a devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee. And Krishna gives himself to such a person. So this is the transcendental platform. This is Krishna's heart. This is Krishna's love. What we do, we want to manipulate. No, you serve me. I should be the object of your service. Krishna is saying, no, don't serve me. You serve my devotee. My devotee is greater than me. What work, what job did he took? What service he took when Yudhishthir Maharaj did the Rajasuya sacrifice? What service did Krishna take?
Washing the feet.
Yes, washing the feet. How many of us will say, yes, yes, I will take the service of washing the feet? Hey, why should I wash the feet? Give me important service.
Mm.
Right? Or rather, everyone serve me. Give me the highest worship, highest position. Here, Krishna, he's the highest person and he's washing the feet. So one must become a servant of the servant. Prahlāda Maharaj also prayed to Lord Nrsimhadev that he might be engaged as a servant of the Lord's servant. This is the prescribed method of devotional service. So Krishna is saying that, and Prahlāda Maharaj, because he is a proper servant of Krishna, he is saying, Krishna is saying, serve my devotee. So Prahlāda Maharaj is saying to Nrsimhadev, I want to serve your devotee. As soon as a devotee wants the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be his order supplier, the Lord immediately refuses to become the master of such a motivated devotee. In Bhagavad Gita 4.11, the Lord says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajami aham. As one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. So the more we surrender, automatically Krishna is providing. He is providing. He is taking care of us. He is protecting us. We simply have to open our eyes, our intelligence to understand that. Open our heart to understand that. Materialistic persons are generally inclined to material profits as long as one continues in such an adulterated position, he does not receive the benefit of returning home back to Godhead. Comments?
His love. Yes.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's love. Yeah. Okay, this is a short one. Yadi das yasi me kaman
Yadi dasasi me kama
Varamstvam Varadarshaba.
varamstvam varadastabha
Kamanam Hridi Asamroham.
kamanam priti asamroham
Bhavatastu Vrinevaram.
bhavatastu vrinvaram.
O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. So Lord Nishingadev told him, I want to give you some benediction. He said, why are you giving me benediction? You are real master. You don't need to give me benediction. I'm your real servant. If I take any benediction from you, how will I be your servant? I'm not a businessman. I'm not merchant that I'm serving you because of some material desire. Now he's saying, now you want to give me some desire, benediction, that you bless me, that there be no material desire in my heart, in the core of my heart, in my deepest, so no subtle desire also, no material desire. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us how to pray for benedictions from the Lord. He says, Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmani ishvare bhavatad bhaktir ahaitu tvai. O my Lord, I do not want from you any amount of wealth, nor many followers, nor a beautiful wife, for these are all materialistic desires. But if I have to ask you for any benediction, I pray that in whatever forms of life I may take my birth under any circumstances, I will not be bereft of your transcendental devotional service. So Lord Chaitanya is teaching us how to pray. Don't ask to Krishna for wealth or followers or beautiful wife or beautiful husband, but for pure devotional service. This is what Lord Chaitanya is saying. So we may say, but I'm not yet on that position. But at least by saying this prayer, one day we'll come to the position, or at least desiring to come to that position is going to bring us to that position. The devotees are always on the positive platform in contrast to the Mayavadis who want to make everything impersonal or void. One cannot remain void, shunyavadi. Rather, one must possess something. Therefore, the devotee on the positive side wants to possess something. And this possession is very nicely described by Prahlāda Maharaj, who says, if I must make some benediction from you, I pray that within the core of my heart, there may be no material desires. The desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not at all material. So Prabhupada is explaining, people are saying we want to become zero, nothing, but not possible. The soul is going to have desire. What we have to do is just purify our desire. What are we desiring? So desiring for pure devotional service is a pure desire. Desire to serve the Lord is, of course, pure desire. Is that okay? Comments? Question?
This is the highest, right, platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brahman, right? Yeah. Asking for nothing except his love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. So Prahlāda Maharaj is teaching us how to pray, how to become devotees. That's how association is so important, right? Who we are associating with, then they teach us. So here we are associating with Prahlāda Maharaj by hearing his prayers. He's teaching us how to become pure devotees. Yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prahlāda Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare